And you're from Russia, you're a Russian conductor, but you have an international career. How do you keep your national identity in the midst of, traveling all over the world and working with different orchestras?
Well, we all keep our national identity because we are grown with certain rules, traditions, habits, also within the process of learning from your teachers. You learn from them, from their teachers, from their teachers' teachers. It continues. It's like a tree. It has these roots go there, and you're just one of those flowers, of those fruits, I don't know. But you learn from rich, glorious traditions, and in Russia, tradition is huge, and one can say easily more than 200 years. There are fantastic compositions. If you talk about Orthodox choral, church music, then there are many, many hundred years. And I think I am very lucky man because studying music in St. Petersburg, then it was called Leningrad when I was a student, was a huge opportunity, huge privilege for me. And I had fantastic people I could learn a lot from. Teachers, but also great conductors, great pianists, legendary artists who performed in 70s or 80s last century. I was a boy, I was a student, but I didn't miss too many opportunities to hear great musicians. I was trying to be there when there was something interesting happening, and 4 or 5 times a week I would go to concerts, to listen to the orchestra or to great pianists, to great violinists, great singers. That helps a lot, I have to say, because you learn from great artists. You can learn so much, but you have to know how to learn, because some people are preoccupied with their own importance. Even when they're students, they think they know. They think they will find the way themselves. That's okay. But it's easier to find the way when you listen to one of the greatest orchestras on earth, one of the greatest conductors. You also understand the music of contemporary composers. You try to understand what is the process of composition. We had very, very good teachers also in this field. So it helped me, of course, tremendously.
And my last question is, you've been in the music industry for so many years, so many decades. I'm sure it's changed quite a bit in that time. Where do you see the music industry heading, the classical music industry, and how can young artists prepare for that?
I think the industry is not the best word. Yes, of course, it looks like industrial output, that many concerts, that many subscription weeks, there are rules, there are contracts, there are unions, but I think musical world remains all in all the world of magic. It's too bad that not every concert, not every rehearsal, actually not every organization, part of industry, is always operating in the most magical way. There are realities, and realities sometimes are very tough, even for the very, very great orchestras. The financial crisis certainly distorted very, very much this kind of wonderful picture which was there maybe 5 years ago, certainly 55 years ago, although it was this terrible Second World War, and there so many people were killed in the war, but classical music, at least in America, was full of these incredible events, great American orchestras. Many European artists came because of this Nazi regime in Germany, and the dangers in Europe came here. So we only read about these legendary times. Now in Europe, in Russia, in Japan, in America, there are many concerts. Now China is growing, so there are many young pianists. But I think the musicians have to focus on what is so magical about their profession, even about every rehearsal, certainly about every concert. And this is where it becomes not so easy. I only can recommend that young people, young audiences, but also young professionals or just students who will be professionals at some point, they have to learn as much as possible from old masters, from composers, you can learn from Mozart, you can learn from Brahms, learn from Tchaikovsky, Prokofiev, you can learn. You just have to be focused and modest, and you can learn a lot. And then, of course, you can hear great musicians, and just you have these wonderful ears. You just listen, and if you start to feel that you really hear the difference, that means you're already becoming a magician yourself. So just go on, work hard, and at some point the world will demonstrate how good you are and how magical is your music.
I'm so glad you talked about magic, because I just want to say on behalf of iCadenza and all of our viewers, I want to thank you so much for everything you do. I believe that what you do is really magic, and thank you for introducing the world to that.